Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been a minute. Yes, I filmed the whole getting this space ready. Hopefully I actually edited that and put that up already. If I haven't, hi, this is a new space. Oh gosh, okay. Today's video, I'm going to somewhat take you through our moving story. We had some situations happen with contractors, cleaners, just a lot. I don't know all that in this video I am going to share a lot of the situations, a lot of the hurdles. It's not going to be super detailed, but it's going to give you an idea of how stressful this move was. We're still in the middle of it all and still need to get our house set up. So these videos are going to slowly start trickling back in until we get back into a routine, and I am excited for it because I miss you all and I miss makeup. I just do. So we're going to, in today's video, talk about the move while I put on this. And yes, this is basically, I guess, my version of makeup, no makeup look, or no makeup look. There we go. And this is really and truly, with the very few exceptions, meaning like maybe 3 times, this is all the makeup I have been wearing for the last few months. So anyway, let's jump in to doing this look and hearing about my move. Okay, so I don't remember what I said in the last video where I showed you setting up this whole thing, but I want to apologize right now because this is echoey, so echoey. So I'm gonna try not to let it echo too much. So we are still in this temporary apartment. I'm still recording in this tiny little dining room space, which is also shared with my dog, but not for long. So hopefully there will only be like 3 or 4 videos in this space, because man, I can just hear myself echoing back. I said we're gonna do the makeup that I've been doing and kind of catch you guys up a little bit. So everything that I've been using is pretty much in this pack, which moved with me. It was my everyday makeup thing. I absolutely love it. And honestly, I've just been doing such little makeup. I think would probably have said that in the intro, but so we've moved. And by the time you're seeing this, twice we've moved in 3 months, our whole house. Yeah, what's that about? So the reason why we moved twice is because our moving dates kept changing. So we started to look at homes, and we were on the wait list for on-base homes, because if you don't know, my husband is military, and the wait list for that, we just kept getting told it's gonna be longer and longer and longer. So we did start looking at rentals. We actually had a rental. It was a perfect situation, and it fell through because the people who were in it decided they weren't actually going to move, because it was just such a great deal, a great house. Like, it made sense that they didn't move. Okay, so I'm so out of filming. I don't know what I'm doing anymore, guys. I gotta get back to this. Okay, so literally the makeup I've been using whenever I'm doing makeup as everyday makeup has literally been the exact same products and been really quick and easy. But of course, showing you guys, it's not going to be quick because I'm talking through it. So I'm going to try to remember to show you the products as I go. So I've been using the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Nourishing Skin Tint, which has been a long time favorite for me. I moved up a shade though, because being out here, I have gotten a tan. I still look really, really pale, but I promise you, I have tanned. So I have gotten up to 550, which is light medium, which is crazy to me, because I've always been 540 in the summer and then 530 in the winter. And wow, I've gone up to 550. I'm still so pale, guys, okay? I just am. So our moving story. I'm not gonna give like crazy amounts of details, but we had some situations go down. So my husband got picked up for a new position. And so back in May, we went to his graduation from that. And that was something we had to fly for because it was a few states away. Right after that, we came back and finished packing. While he was gone, I had already started packing little bits here and there. But when he got back, we really got into packing, and we really got into, you know, making sure that the house was ready to sell. Oh boy. Normally, well, not normally, before this move, I was doing a thicker layer of this and building it up. But I'm showing you what I've been doing for the last few months, and it's literally been this thinnest layer, really just to help even out the color a little bit. And I really like the way it looks like this. I really do. It just is super easy, super convenient. I forgot I was supposed to do brows first. So we're gonna do brows in a minute here. And that is it. That is it for the foundation. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. No makeup. I think that's probably what it's gonna look like, what it's been looking like. So we had to get our house ready to sell. So we decided to help it sell better. We were gonna put all of our bigger furniture pieces and a lot of things that I had already packed into a storage unit. Okay, so we got that all moved into a storage unit, and we had a contractor set up to come and fix a couple things for us that needed to be fixed. They weren't like huge issues, but they looked like huge issues, if that makes sense. So like, if you've ever owned a home or lived in a full home, you know that as they age, they get cracks in the walls. Sometimes they're big issues, like foundation issues. These were not. These were literally cracks at the seams of the drywall as the house shifted, because the soil type it's on was nothing structurally wrong with that. We had a contractor set to come out to repaint those areas to make it not look like patchwork, because if we did it, that's what it would look like. And to fix a couple other little things, like a couple gutter things, siding things on the outside of the house, you know, just random things, okay? We had this contractor scheduled for specific start dates months earlier, like 3 months early. And 2 weeks before the start date, I reached out to make sure we're still good. He said he's still good. A week before, reached out, he said he's still good. 3 days before, he said he's still good. So we moved everything into storage, thinking he would get his work done, and then we would be good to list, right? Oh no, we were wrong. The day showed up, and it's like midday, and I texted him, had no response. Texted him a couple times, tried calling him a couple times, no response until the next day. The next day he responded, saying that he was behind on one of his other jobs because of the rain that had been happening, and he needed to wait to finish that job to start our job. Most of our job was inside, so I'm not sure why he couldn't do that while it was raining, but we said, okay, we need to list within the next 2 days. You knew this. Are you gonna make it? And he goes, okay, yeah, we're gonna be there. Spoiler, he wasn't there. 2 days later, show up, still nothing. We reached out to our realtor, who suggested this contractor to us, and said, well, we can't list yet because he hasn't done his job. Couple more days go by, and then he says, okay, I'm gonna be here tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. 9 a.m. rolls around, nothing. 10 a.m. rolls around, nothing. Finally, we got a message from him saying that he had a family emergency. I'm not gonna share what that was because it's not anybody's business, okay? But he said he had a family emergency. We felt bad, absolutely, for that family emergency that happened. But we reached out to our realtor and asked if she had somebody else because we needed to get this house sold. Every day that it wasn't on the market was another day we were gonna have, you know, to wait and people were missing out on. We lived in a very heavy military town, so we knew that there was a window of high moving into the city time. We needed to list. She didn't have the same level of feeling sorry for the contractor as we did for his family emergency, which gave us the feeling that maybe the family emergency was not as much of an emergency as he led us to believe. I don't know, she personally knows him, and she talked to him and got him to start the work the very next day when he told us he wasn't going to come in or he told us he didn't know when he was going to come in after this. When he came in the next day, she was there too, and she saw us point out to him again everything that needed to be done. And he said, yeah, I'll have it done today. The end of the day shows up, and he is like, well, you know, I actually didn't have the right paint. It's not drying correctly. So I'm gonna have to let it fully dry, go get the different paint tomorrow, and come back and finish this tomorrow. I said, whatever, okay. So you promise we're gonna be done tomorrow so we can list the next day? Yes. I don't know why our realtor was so attached to this person. I truly do not, because I am not. At this point, I was just done. I reached out to the realtor again and I said, either help us find a contractor to take over for him, or you take over all communication with the contractor because we're done. This is not going to go civil if this doesn't get resolved. So she took over the rest of being the like go-between, okay? So I sent her all the photos of everything that needed to be done, everything we had spoken about, copy paste from all of the messages, okay? So for my brows, I've just been using the e.l.f. Ultra Brow Pencil. I think mine is in like, is it brunette? Yeah, I've been using that, and the e.l.f. Wow Brow Tinted Gel, I think also in brunette, yes. I've been using the spoolie to brush it out and then fill it in a little bit with the pencil side, and then sometimes, but not every time, I've been using the gel. So she took over communicating with him, and during this point, we now are at the point where our move got moved up. Our dates that my husband had to be at work got moved up by, I think, 2 weeks. 1.5, 2 weeks, something like that. So we're now packing the house completely. So we're just now putting everything in a truck, moving ourselves. And we also have the storage unit. So we actually had to move everything from the storage unit back to the house, and then had to load up this truck by ourselves. It was just myself, my husband, and our 2 kiddos. So not everything fit because, well, U-Haul moving trucks aren't the biggest, and we're not professional packers. So we got rid of a lot of stuff, had to take several trips to a dump of like yard work stuff that we had finished up to make the yard look really presentable for sellers or for buyers. And so we took a lot of trips to the dump with my van, which eventually led to us having a flat tire the day before we're supposed to drive out. Yeah. And then the other stuff we put back into storage, the stuff that didn't fit on the truck, so that we could come back for it. So the house now is empty, okay? And because of all of this and all of this chaos, we didn't have time to clean it to a level that needed to be cleaned for showing a house. So then we had to find a last minute cleaner. Last minute cleaners are not cheap. They are expensive. Like I was expecting a really high number, and the number that we ended up paying for a last minute cleaner was double the amount that we thought we were gonna have to pay for a last minute cleaner. So that was not fun. So if I did like a thicker layer of this, or like a double layer of this, I've been practicing setting it with the MCO Beauty Miracle Flawless Pressed Powder. I have mine in light. I think it's supposed to be a dupe for, is it Charlotte Tilbury, or I don't know, one of those fancier brands. But I've been liking it, and I've been using it just to help set things down a little bit. But with this level of just light coverage, it's set down fine. So I'm just gonna move into what I've been using for my bronzer and blush. And for my bronzer and blush, I've been using Too Faced. So for bronzer, it's been the Too Faced Milk Chocolate bronzer. Absolutely love that one. And then it's been either the Too Faced Cloud Crush in Tequila Sunset, or it's been one of their old ones that I still have, which is the Too Faced Love Flush I Will Always Love You. And sometimes I've been combining them, sometimes I've been just doing one or the other, but that's what I've been going for. I think today I'm going to do these two. Saturday we leave, or was it Friday? I don't know. I'm so lost on the days now. We leave Friday or Saturday, and the other days were Thursday, Friday, or Friday, Saturday. I don't remember. So we leave, and we do the drive. We drive to our new state with myself and one of my kids and the dog in the van with me. The van was packed full, and then my husband and another kid in the truck. We drove ourselves all in one day, because this was also our dog's very first drive longer than an hour. So we needed to do it in a day so that we wouldn't have to deal with hotels, because she's never been in a hotel. It was painful. My poor husband and whichever child kept on taking turns in the truck. I feel so bad for them because the air conditioning was not working. It was a really, really hot day. And so they had no air conditioning in the hot truck. The air conditioning in my van wasn't keeping up. It was bad. It was just so bad. But we did it. We left super early. We left around 5 in the morning. I think that's when we started driving. We got to Buc-ee's, which is 2 hours from where we currently live, I think, at midnight. At midnight, we stopped at Buc-ee's and got our final gas, and then we got here to our house. No, we got there at 11. Yeah, because we got to our apartment in our new town at 1 a.m. We're an upstairs loft, and so we had to push all of our mattresses up the stairs at 1 a.m. after driving all day, just so we could go to sleep. Guys, that day was rough. That night, oh gosh, was rough. I was just so glad that we didn't have any downstairs neighbors yet. So glad, because we tried to be quiet, but you try moving a king-size mattress up the steepest stairs you've ever seen with exhaustion going on. Yeah, you're not gonna be very quiet. So we arrive into our temporary apartment because our realtor we had been working with was great and found us an apartment that would allow our dog and allow a short-term lease. And honestly, I have to say the apartment is beautiful. It's a brand new build. It's really good size, like really good size. And then we are the first people in it. So like we lucked out. Our realtor came through with us because she knew that we needed to see houses still, and it was gonna be a while before we could get into a house. So she found us a spot, and we love it. And we wish we could actually make it work full time, but our dog really needed her yard back. And it was honestly like a 45-minute drive for my husband to commute every day, and that's not gonna work out long term. So it was great for the temporary. So we move into the apartment, and that night we literally just get the beds in and the dog crate in, and we go to sleep. The next day we wake up super early and go find a storage unit for all of our stuff because we don't have a house and we're not gonna move everything up those stairs. We're just not. And so we put it all into a storage unit the very next day. We are exhausted. We unloaded that U-Haul into a storage unit. 100%. Everything pretty much made it in there except for the stuff that we wanted in the apartment, like our cooking stuff, our couch, and our beds. We didn't do dressers or anything. We put all of that in storage. Guys, the 4 of us unloaded that truck in 5 hours in the rain. I'm so proud of my little family. And this was after loading the whole truck and doing the nasty drive. Oh my gosh, okay. So then, my husband got a message saying, never mind, you don't have to show up into work tomorrow. Go back to your original show day. So the stuff that we left back at our last place in that storage unit, we planned on leaving there for a few months until one of us could drive back and get it, right? Well, now we've got a whole 2 weeks, week and a half, something like that, and we don't have a house. So what we did was we went to look at the houses that we had kind of narrowed down in the area that we wanted to see. We went to go look at houses. I think that first day we looked at like 8. It was crazy. And then the very next day, we drove back. This time, thankfully, we only drove back, my husband and I. We also had to leave my husband's car out there because he was driving the moving truck. So it was just my husband and I, our kids, and when I say kids, I mean one is an adult and one will be an adult in about a year. And so we left them here, but we know people here. And we had people checking in and being here. We left them food, we left them money, we left them emergency numbers, and we had plenty of people who knew that they were here because we actually know a lot of people here, which is good and bad. We'll find out. So they weren't just dropped off, okay? And we also boarded the dog because I was not going to, because it's an apartment, I didn't want them to have to leave the apartment to go walk the dog multiple times a day in an area that we don't know, okay? So we boarded the dog with a boarder that came highly recommended. Never going back. So we drove back, my husband and I, in my car. So we got in late. House had been listed now for 24 hours, maybe 48 hours. So it had some traction and we just said, hey, we're getting in the evening. The next day we should be leaving in the morning. We're not staying. We get in, the cleaners did not do a great job. Like there was still crumbs in the drawers, in the kitchen drawers. There were still streaks on the mirrors. The one massive thing that I pointed out that I wanted them to do, which was the sliding door track, wasn't touched. So after that big drive, I go to work cleaning after the cleaners that I paid a butt ton of money on. Yeah, I clean up after them. And I noticed that our contractor still didn't do one of the things. Still did not do one of the things. I was so mad. I was so mad. And I messaged the realtor saying, hey, I know the house is listed already, but he didn't do this work. So if it needs to be done, he needs to get back here. If it doesn't need to be done, great, whatever. I don't care anymore. But we're not paying him for that particular thing because he didn't do it. Okay guys, guess what? This is almost done. After this, I did 1, sometimes 2 more steps. It was mascara and occasionally a lip gloss. So the mascara I was just using is the Eye Enhancer from CoverGirl. I don't love it, but I need to use it up. So I don't know if you can really see well, but it kind of clumps in some areas, and then in other areas it works smoothly. I don't know. I don't think I'll buy it again. It just doesn't work consistently enough. I do like it. I don't love it. Ooh, I'm gonna do the NYX Professional Makeup Fat Oil Lip Drip. We clean up, we go to sleep. The air mattresses we leave there. One has a straight up slit in it. Can't be used. The other one has a small little hole in it, and so it's slowly losing air. But at this point, it was already late. We weren't gonna go find a hotel. So we basically slept on the floor. We're too old to do that. That was horrible, horrible sleep. This morning, we woke up, we left, we went straight to the storage unit, and we literally packed. So we picked up my husband's car, we packed his car and my van. Everything fit perfectly, so that was great. And we took off for the drive back. And the drive there and back went a lot faster because we didn't have the kids and the dog. So that was good. But still, it was still long drives. So we drove back, we stopped at a really nice restaurant for dinner that night because we were just like, we need to. We actually, the drive back, did stay at a hotel because we were dead. We were dead. After horrible sleep the night before, we made it halfway. We stopped for dinner and decided right then we're staying at a hotel. So then the next day we finished driving back. So he was driving his car, I was driving my car, which means I got to go through listening to one of my books. So I finally got to catch up with one of the buddy reads I'm listening to with a friend. So that was good. And it was like, yes, I was still driving, but it was, I don't know, I felt good. Like I was doing something fun while I was driving. And I enjoy driving, but that much driving, oh, that was bad. So we get here and then we just jump right into looking at homes for the next few days until he has to go back to work and start his work here. And we looked at so many homes. Our realtor went without us and looked at homes and sent us videos of homes that she thought would meet our criteria, which was awesome, saved us from having to see even more. I think we viewed, I have to go back and look. I know we looked at a lot on video, and of course a ton online and pictures and everything, but yeah, and then we found a couple homes that we were debating between, and then we settled on one that we ended up putting in an offer on and started that process. And as of when you're seeing this, we will have closed. Yay! Which also means when you see this, we might be moved into the new house. So hopefully you only have a couple days, a couple videos of this echoey, and then you get me having to figure out lighting again in a new space. There was a lot more to all of that I just, you know, you text your friends through all of it and you're like texting them all the nitty gritty, but like not everybody wants to know that. But we had moving dates change. We had our home sale be a pain in the butt. Thankfully, the home sale has gone through. We started this all with a trip to another state before we even moved. And then we already had to take a trip from here. It was for a family wedding and it was really pretty and really fun. But it was just in the chaos of all of this. So it's just been insanity over here. And then we're all in a much tighter space than we're used to with each other. I now have to walk the dog a minimum of 2 times a day because there's no yard. And when I say walk the dog, it's not as easy as just taking her outside. No, we gotta go a ways. Like every time to take her outside to go to the bathroom is a minimum of a 2-mile walk because it's just, well, 1.5 miles. Let's say 1.5 miles. because it's just crazy. Okay, so I'm excited to be moved out, even though we love this apartment and I don't want to have to move this again, which by the time you're seeing this, we will have moved again. I'm gonna be so exhausted. I already am exhausted. So we have had some fun, and I'll probably talk about those in another video, but that is what we've been up to. That was our moving so far, and this is the only makeup I've been wearing outside of what I wore for our trip to a wedding. That's it, guys. Like, that's it. That's why I'm not bothering with updating any of my project pans, updating any of my things, because I'm just not wearing anything. It's just this. So that will change soon. I have been missing makeup and I'm excited to jump back into filming. Videos are going to slowly pop back up for you from me until I finally get to a routine again. So I hope you enjoy this. I hope you enjoy hearing a little bit of our story. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around, and I will see you in a video very, very soon.